All right. Hey, welcome to Quarantiki number 76. We're going to call this one Weekending with Mollie because we spent most of this weekend up in Annapolis with our friends David and Chris on their boat, their yacht, and enjoying a wonderful time on the water with the sun and the wind and the dehydration. And we got back fine. Everything's great. We christened their fly bridge with cocktails, and we hunted around Annapolis and found a cool new rum. And so we're going to do some things related to that. But the first thing that we're going to do is of course do a toast, and we're going to do a toast to friends and friendship and finding new treasures. And the principle of those new treasures is the rum that we found in Annapolis. Now, what's curious is Annapolis is not that far away from us, but and probably 6, 7 years ago we were in Annapolis, and we found this wonderful little liquor store, and we stopped in and we thought they had a great collection. I bought some scotch for my wife, and we weren't hesitant to go back, but we were curious about going back to see whether or not it lived up to our memories, because of course our rum journey, our alcohol journey has moved on from that point. So we were like, oh, is this going to be, that was cute. That would have been a really nice liquor store 5 years ago for us, but now we've moved on. And it turns out, not a chance. Still great liquor store. Small selection of rum. I had probably, somewhere between a third and a half of the rums that they have, I have. But some real gems there that I couldn't find in other places. And one that presumably was on the shelf when we were last there, and we were just not aware enough to pick it up and know what was potentially there. And now we have. So that is this bottle here, which is, I'm not sure, you probably can't read that. Probably not. Let's see if I can turn it this way. You might be able to read it. It says Alchemist, and Alchemist is an independent bottler, and they've bottled Armagnac and a couple of different scotches and a Calvados brandy and this particular rum. Now, what's interesting about this rum is it's a rum agricole. It's from a French territory. It's from Guadeloupe, and it is from a defunct distillery, Gardel Distillery. This agricole is also aged 10 years, which is really unusual, at least in what I can find and get my hands on. 46% alcohol, so 92 proof. It's a little higher than your typical rums in the 40 to 42, 43% alcohol. But yeah, so this is an older bottle of rum. We could tell because the cork cracked on us when we tried to open this. Fortunately, the rum was not affected. There'd been no oxidation of the rum, and so we have already tasted this rum, but we're going to do it again. And beautiful bottle, gorgeous bottle. Right? And I was curious. Could not remember if I in fact had a Guadalupe rum, and as it turns out, I do. And I've even tasted it, I think maybe even previously on the show, not sure. But this is from the TCRL, the Transcontinental Rail Line releases of rum. Excuse me, not rail line, rum line. And this is a 2013, aged 5 years. So it was distilled in 2013, bottled in 2018. So we are going to have a toast. I'm going to put one in one glass, one in the other glass. We're going to taste both of these.
We have a Dave.
Hello,
and
hello.
We have a grape cherry.
Yay! Would that be Mr. Heinzen?
It is.
One of the co-owners of Mollie, our abode for the weekend. So there's the TCRL Guadalupe. Pretty light in color. I can't tell you that it's really, really light and doesn't have a reddish color because we're getting a lot of glare off of this red lamp here, so everything looks red. If I bring it over here, it looks green. Yeah, that's how that works. But it is a much lighter color than what is in the bottle here. So we're going to pour a little of that as well. And yes, I was, so we destroyed the cork. We had to go down to the restaurant in the marina to get another cork to make sure that this fit. We kind of got one. We had to shave it down a little bit. And then when I got home, I, of course, have a massive collection of corks from other bottles and was able to find one that fit just fine. So there we go. So that bottle's all done. And we're going to have the wife up here, and we're going to do a toast. Friends, fun, finding new treasures. Here's your comparison of colors. You can definitely tell this is significantly darker, aged 10 years, aged twice as long as this one. And near as I can tell, both of those colorations should be natural from the aging. So here you go. I'm going to let you taste the TCRL.
Okay.
I will taste the Alchemist, and then we can switch. And so here's to David and Christine and Mollie and yachting, those friends of ours, finding new stuff and just having fun. So
Okay.
a toast. This is weird. When we opened this, I was so bizarre because I would swear this is a molasses-based rum on the nose. Just no doubt in my mind. But it's definitely not once you taste it. Oh, that is so good. It is,
I'll taste this one too.
there is definitely a little burn to that. What is the TCRL's percentage here? It's got to be listed. And I cannot read it in this light. So I will give it to my wife and she find
on
it.
the outside of the box.
This is a definite more alcohol forward nose. Just a sort of neutral alcohol nose to it.
43.
Completely different rum.
Yes.
Absolutely different. This is molasses based, right?
Mm-hmm.
From Guadalupe.
Yep.
Yeah, different rums entirely. Same island. 5 years difference aging, different manufacturing process. This has got to be hotter. This has got to be a higher percentage.
Yeah.
I don't think by much.
No.
2-3% maybe,
Yeah.
something like that. But it is, even though it is hotter, it is smoother than this. She's like, no, it isn't. I say no.
Yes, it is. But the hotness makes that hard unless you're specifically.
The hotness of the rum.
The
Yeah,
hotness,
the
of,
hotness
the
of the
rum.
All righty. Do you want to take one
so-
of these back with
Yeah,
you?
I'll take this one back with
Okay.
me. There is a special video
Oh,
on
yes.
Lovecraft Cocktails.
Yes, there is.
We did a short
Recording.
recording.
Yeah. We were a little unsure about trying to do a live broadcast from Mollie, just based on internet connectivity and that sort of thing.
Right.
In which case it would have gone up yesterday. Instead, we decided to do an actual, not live, but just a video. And that went up yesterday.
Yes.
So you can see that.
You can look at that. There's a link on our Facebook.
You can see a little bit around their boat and their fly bridge, and you can watch me make Mr. Bali High in two places. One mixing all the ingredients together, and then up on the fly bridge throwing ice and shaking it and drinking it down.
Yeah.
So we christened their fly bridge.
Yeah.
With tiki drinks.
Yeah.
So yay, coolness.
Welcome to Mollie. Some Lovecraft cocktails up on the fly bridge of Mollie. And we're gonna come in and show you a bit about Mollie. Here's one of our hostess.
Hello.
Chris, who you've seen on others. Their cabin down here. The salon. I'll give you a tour of the bar in a moment. We've got our cabin up there. And David is in the galley making some simple syrup for our cocktails. And we've got their nice little bar set up here. So this will keep all the bottles secure, and places for your tools, little cutting board, little ice maker here. And Pooch is doing the prep work, which is usually me, juicing some lemons. And we will be back in a while and make a cocktail.
Just Mollie.
MY Mollie, motor yacht.
MY Mollie.
Okay?
Are we ready?
Yep.
You gonna tell me when we're gonna hit start on this?
Start.
Hey, welcome to another, this one pre-recorded version of Quarantiki, or a Quarantiki supplement, or something. I'm not sure what we're doing, other than we are broadcasting from the motor yacht Mollie, sitting in a small marina in... where
Annapolis.
Annapolis, duh. Wow, brain. See, we went out today on the water, and there was sun and wind, and apparently those don't mix well with Pooch's brain. So we'll have some fun this evening. We are going to make the Mr. Bali High using the bar ingredients that are here aboard Mollie. That I'm happy to say, I think I've had some influence on little bit of influence on the ingredients and tools and that sort of thing that are present on board. And so what we're going to do is we are going to put the mixings for the cocktails into a large pitcher, stir that up, and then we will be shaking up individual cocktails on the fly bridge above us, which we'll do a separate video for that so that you can see us drinking merrily away.
Yeah.
So what you're going to see this evening is me putting a whole bunch of stuff into a great big pitcher. That's where we're going to go for this evening. All right, so the Mr. Bali High. The Mr. Bali High starts with half ounce of simple syrup. In this case, we're going to, it's not simple, it's a rich simple syrup. We're using a 2-to-1 rich simple syrup. We are going to make this batch for 4 cocktails. So 1/2 ounce times 4, math, 2 ounces, right?
Yeah.
Got that? Okay, so 2 ounces of this syrup is going in here. There we go. So the syrup was prepared pretty much moments ago, so it's a little on the warm side, but I'm not going to worry about that, quite frankly, because it will help the other ingredients stay dissolved, and then when we add ice, it'll all be good and fine. There's pineapple juice in this, and there's 1.5 ounces of pineapple juice. 1.5 ounces of pineapple juice times 4 would be 6 ounces of pineapple juice. We do not have fresh pineapple juice. That would be such a pain to try and have the juicer on board the ship. But we do have cans of Dole 100% pineapple juice. I've used these before in a pinch. If you can't have French pineapple juice, these are fine. And they come in a 6-ounce can. So we're just going to dump this can in there after opening it, of course. And we're going to hope that this works, because we've had some interesting luck with opening things this weekend. So, okay, 6 ounces of pineapple juice going in there. And then we need lemon juice, and it's 1 ounce of lemon juice per cocktail, so that would be 4 ounces. So that would be 2 of this end of the jigger. It's a boat. We're having fun just being on the water. You don't have to have your cocktails be absolutely perfect. You know, I could spend another 5 or 10 minutes and strain the lemon juice and run up and down from the galley and that sort of thing. Or we can deal with a little pulp and some seeds and that little bit of pith in the lemon juice and be just fine. And that's, in fact, what we're going to do. All right, so there we have, oh wait, rum. Rum would be good to add to this. So David and Chris, who own Mollie, are the ones that brought us the Lion rum that we featured last time around. And so since the Bali High requires a white rum, and they happen to have, oh, I don't know, some Lion white rum lying around, we thought we would use that. And no, I don't remember the proportion. It's 1 ounce. Okay, so that's easy enough. We do the same thing we did with the lemon juice, except we use white rum. And David and Christine have done something with Lion that I am jealous of. They've actually been to their premises, and I have not had that opportunity. Okay, so right now we have what is probably fine as far as it goes. Some lemon juice, some pineapple juice, a little sweetener, and some white rum. That does not make the tiki drink that I would want to make, and as a consequence, the Mr. Bali High says, "Oh, we need a little funk to the party," and so it calls for some aged or dark Jamaican rum. And here we're going to reach for the Hamilton Jamaican Pot Still Black, which, if I'm not mistaken, David and Chris purchased from Ace Beverage in Washington, D.C., because we said it was good and yummy. And, well, it is. Now, we need 1.5 ounces of dark Jamaican rum. And if I've done my math correctly, that means 6 ounces of this, right? Which I could just pour it into the pineapple juice can, but I'm not going to, no, because that's a small whole one. So that'd be 3 of these jiggers. One. Two. 3. And there we go. This is the base ingredients for the Mr. Bali High. What you would do is shake this up, combine this, circle this around, whatever. For each of the individual cocktails, we're going to pour single portions of this juice into this cocktail shaker, add crushed ice, shake, pour, and dump into glass, and have a Mr. Bali High. But that will be done upstairs, where it will be nice and refreshing.
Andy,
Yes?
aren't you missing the Mr. Black?
Oh, you're right. There's an ingredient missing from this cocktail.
Yes, there is.
I pulled it out. It's sitting right here in
there.
front of me. Right. 3/4 of an ounce. Oh, my math. 3/4 of an ounce Mr. Black or other coffee flavored liqueur or brandy, which neatly 3/4 times 4 is going to be 3, right?
Take that 4 and make it all go
Make
away.
it go away.
With the 3.
We're going to go 2 ounces of Mr. Black.
Thank you, Chris.
How did I miss that? Wow. Sun, wind, no brains. That's how that works.
No whiteboard.
No whiteboard. Yeah, no whiteboard to remind me. All right. Here we go. And there was an ounce there. That actually looks more like the color of the Mr. Bali High that I am used to. So yeah, that seems like we're right on track. So again, crushed ice, shake, 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 throw that in glass, sip, enjoy, and that would be the Mr. Bali High from Quarantiki, right? There we go.
And we're live again.
Hi. So now we're upstairs on Mollie, on the fly bridge, right?
Flybridge party deck.
The party deck, yes. We even have cool little blinky lights and all that sort of thing. And what we're going to do is we're going to take this picture of delightfully mixed alcohols, spirits, and other things, and we're going to transform those into a cocktail by the use of shaker magic, right? So we're going to take the small end of our shaker. We're going to add 6 ounces of this mix after I take a spoon and stir it around a little bit. No need to be particularly good about your technique for stirring here. We're not working in a pint glass and making sure that we don't break ice apart or anything along those lines. So you can just stir it. All right, so we're going to go 6 ounces. So that's 2. That's 4. 6. Just like that. And then we're going to add ice. Now, normally the Mr. Bali High requires crushed ice. We're just going to not do that. We're going to use regular old
We're on a boat,
cube
so it's a
ice.
boat drink, right?
It is a boat drink in this case. So we're going to add a big old scoop of ice. These are actually fairly small cubes, so they're going to break up pretty well in here. And hopefully that'll give us sort of the equivalent of the crushed ice experience. And I am going to add a spritz of Worthy Park overproof rum over to the top of the glass, just because I want a little bit more funk to the cocktail. So just gonna lid that up, and we're gonna shake.
Shaking on a boat.
Rocking and rolling. Ice cold, getting some frost on there. Separates easy enough. Glass. Now you can spritz either in the glass to start with or just spritz over the glass. I'm just going to spritz over. Just going to do a dump. There we go. Garnish as you will. Okay, my garnish game is weak and we left the straws downstairs, but that's going to be fine. And we'll just do a spritz over the top like that. And there we go. We have a Mr. Bali High on the, was it MY?
Motor yacht
Motor
Mollie.
Yacht Mollie.
And the
So
captain gets
captain
first drink?
First drink.
No, the Admirable gets the first
Oh,
drink.
okay.
Woohoo! Heads up.
Huzzah! And the verdict is...
You shouldn't make them for anybody else.
Oh, okay. All right, they're awful.
They're
terrible.
awful. I'll
Okay.
finish them.
Tastes
Right.
too much like rum.
Yeah. Tasty, tasty.
So now we're gonna cut out the video so that we can enjoy 3 more of these, 1 for each of us, and then go have some dinner. So there we go. Good night, all. One of the songs that has been played, Amanda loves. So we've got a mix of Rat Pack, Exotica, surf rock, all playing here. So,
And Keith says greetings.
hey Keith, how are you? In chat. Okay, got it. Understood. So I wasn't sure what I was going to be doing for cocktails, and then I blundered across something called the AquaPearl. It's a magazine recipe cocktail, and it required me to do all sorts of conversions because, like, oh, use a cup of this and a teaspoon of that and weird things. And it was like, well, how can't you just use ounces like everybody else? But apparently not. So what attracted me to the AquaPearl was sort of the coloration, and that it was designed to look like water and not clear water, like sailing kind of water, that greenish blue color. And so I thought, you know what, we just spent time on a boat, let's go ahead and do that one. So it requires some setup. So we're going to take these 2 little mini martini glasses here, and you know what I could do? Ooh, look at this. I'll put a little incense smoke in there. Yeah, that's totally unnecessary. What we're going to do is we're going to put a 1/4 ounce, not even a 1/4 ounce, right? No, 1/4 teaspoon. 1/4 teaspoon, basically a bar spoon, of blue curacao in the bottom of each of these. So here's some blue curacao right there. And, oh, there we go. Oh, I was going to panic for a moment. Let's go ahead. Bar spoon, where's my bar spoon? There's a bar spoon right there. So, do blue curacao, just a little bar spoon. So we'll return to the blue curacao because we'll need a bit of that in a moment. We are also going to add, this is not standard, we're going to add a couple of drops of absinthe to this, and here we're going to use the Mount Defiance absinthe, which is an overproof absinthe, trying to get the color where I want it and add just a depth of flavor to this that would ordinarily not quite come. This is also a gin-based drink, by the way. Okay, so those 2 glasses just get set aside. They're ready to go. So then we're going to do We're gonna do two. We're gonna do one of these. We don't need to do two. We're just gonna double it up. So we need 4 teaspoons of simple syrup.
And we have a flora.
And if I remember right, it is 3 teaspoons to a tablespoon, right? We're all good with that? Let's hope so. I'm going to start with a teaspoon. 1 teaspoon. Maybe. We're gonna check on that. What am I doing here?
3 teaspoons to 1 tablespoon.
Right. Okay. So I could do a tablespoon plus a teaspoon because it's 4 teaspoons of simple syrup, but I can just do straight up simple syrup, 4 teaspoons. This is doubling the recipe. So normally it would be 2 teaspoons. I'm just going to put them both in the same shaker because they're relatively small build here. So there's 1, 2. Come on. 3. And 4 teaspoons simple syrup. Okay, so there we go with that. What's next? Lemon juice, same proportion. So equal proportions of the sweet and the sour in this case. Although we're going to be adding some blue curacao, which will add some more syrup, sweetness to it. Same thing, 4 teaspoons. One, 2, 3, 4 teaspoons. There you go. 1 teaspoon blue curacao. So we'll come back here. Full teaspoon of the blue curacao. What's that? The recipe calls for 1 teaspoon of blue curacao, which means since I'm making a double, 2 teaspoons of blue curacao. There we go. There you go, Pooch. Okay. Then 1.5 ounces of gin. So what are we going to do for gin? Well, usually you'd use a London dry gin for this, but I want some weird sort of vegetal notes in this. Some botanical notes. So I'm going to go with Uncle Val's Botanical Gin, which is going to be a very powerful gin for this particular cocktail, but I think it'll work. And also, I have this bottle that has very little Uncle Val's in it, so as a consequence, I want to use up the remainder of the Uncle Val's so that I can get to my other bottle. And there we go. So 3 ounces gin. Then, the bizarre ingredient here. So, there is a tropical fruit called soursop, or guanabana. Goya makes a nectar for it, right? It's a little on the sweet side. So the actual recipe calls for 3 ounces per cocktail of this particular juice from that particular plant. Instead, what we are going to do is we're going to go with 2 ounces per cocktail because I don't want this to be overly sweet. Because the Goya is just really sweet because it's a nectar as opposed to just a juice. That's pretty true standard of Goya. Their nectars tend to be really on the sweet side, so you tend to want to cut back the flavor profile a little bit. So because it's 2 ounces per cocktail, we're going to do 4 ounces of soursop. The recipe actually says that if you don't have access to soursop, you can go ahead and use pineapple juice. I think that's just wrong. I don't think it tastes anything like each other, and the coloration is completely different, so it's not the same cocktail. It just isn't.
So, Chris just poured David some Ophir, which is the gin we tried while we were there.
Oh, right. So what we have is people that are watching are actually drinking as well, and in one case, one of the couples, David and Chris, we spent the weekend with, has poured a gin that they allowed us to taste while we were there called AquaPearl. It's spelled like Ophir, O-P-H-I-R, I think, and it's a spiced gin. It's quite good, quite interesting. Okay, so simple syrup, lemon juice, blue curacao, gin, sour sop, and the recipe for the AquaPearl itself calls for 4 dashes of Angostura bitters. And what I'm going to do is change that up just a tad. I am going to use some Typhoon Tiki bitters. 1, 2, 3. And then I'm going to do 1 dash of Angostura in order to help keep the color in the right profile that I want. So reach over here, grab my Ango, and there's 1 simple dash of Angostura. I'm going to put some ice in here, and then we're going to shake. Shake, shake, shake. Shake, 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 shake. Cubed ice is fine. You're not looking for tons of dilution on this. You do want it cold. We are going to double strain it. And here we go. Yeah, that's pretty frosty out there. Hands are a little tight, a little cold. Dealing with this. Okay, so that goes to the side. We're going to take a fine strainer. Wow! The nose from the Uncle Val's is just, wow! Okay. Whew. And then we're going to take our 2 little glasses here. You can see the little glasses. Put them right there. Got smoke that is interfering with those glasses. Nope, put them over here. There we go. Keep them out of the way. And pour this in.
David is drinking port.
Plenty left of this. This should be quite tasty. Should be light and refreshing. Gonna add cocktail orchids. Oh, shout out to the restaurant that we ate at in Level in Annapolis, because they gave us some extra cocktail orchids so that we would have cocktail orchids for last night's and tonight's festivities. We did forget to use them last night. Let's see, there's the kitty. See, he's fine. Are you fine? Can I get your nose? No? Okay. Let's not get the kitty nose. Poor guy has had all sorts of traumas and medications and that sort of thing. Here you go. Here is...
It's very pretty.
It is very pretty. It is... I'm not sure that I would call that ocean-going water. It's kind of more like, I don't know, pool water. Apparently it's a success.
I like that.
The Uncle Val's and the sour sop is a really interesting combination. Making this again, I think I would cut the Uncle Val's down. Yeah, cut it down to probably split it evenly, 3/4 of an ounce of the Uncle Val's and 3/4 of an ounce of another gin, a simple English gin. The other thing you could do is you could take this in a different direction entirely and split the base between, say, gin and a light rum and use, like, I don't know, Hamilton's White Stash, or you could use Plantation 3-Star, or the Bank's 5-Year Regional Blend. Any of those in combination with the Uncle Val's gin for this, I think would be really, really nice. So we are getting closer to potentially doing a haunted tiki party. I'm not sure that this drink is going to make it. It seems too bright and pretty for a haunted tiki party. So while this is quite yummy, we may save it for those couple of days that we know are going to occur in October that are just amazingly hot and humid. before it actually becomes truly, truly fall. It is nice. It might even be able to get rid of the simple syrup. It is a little on the sweet side, even with the cutting the Goya back.
Dana, but I was going into Torch Station to pick up some power converters. It's not blue milk.
It is not blue milk. Although I have heard soursop referred to as like citrus milk. So whatever. It is not blue milk, although it has the right color for blue milk. Now look at it. I'm going to highlight that with the lighting here. There you go. Look, it's red. Look, it's green. Look, it's blue. Yeah, so who knows what color the drinks are actually going to be this evening, right? Y'all good? All good?
Mm-hmm.
So you want more?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, okay. Fortunately, these are really small glasses, and as a consequence, she can have more, because these little itty-bitty martini glasses are maybe a third the size of probably someone's standard martini glass. So she's got plenty there. If you want, you can just take that back to the back, not the back room, over to your technical console where you are keeping track of the broadcast, the chats, the broadcasts, etc. Or you could, you do what I'm going to do, which is just okay. And just a tinge of rum to that. Swirl that just a tad more. Yeah, it's not enough rum there to cut the Uncle Val's. It's still Uncle Val's. And I think that is in the right direction. So I think maybe the split base of rum and Uncle Val's would work very well. But Uncle Val's is polarizing. I know many people that would never ever consider making a gin and tonic with Uncle Val's. We really like gin and tonics with Uncle Val's, so that's very, very different. Anyway, while we were in Annapolis and making drinks for our esteemed hosts aboard Mollie, we made a drink called the Mr. Bali High. And I'm going to do a Mr. Bali High, and then I am going to do a thought project that I had while we were drinking the Mr. Bali High. And if all goes well on this cocktail, because I have not yet had a chance to make it, I may in fact call this the Mollie High. So we'll see. If it comes out well, we're going to name a drink after the MY Mollie. So let's see what we can do here. I need 2 shaker non-tins, because we're going to do a Mr. Bali High, and then we're going to do a hopefully Mollie High. So they both start with a ½ ounce of syrup. In this case, we are going to go ahead and use a ½ ounce of simple syrup. This is a 2-to-1 rich simple syrup. I'm going to use that for both. I think for the Mollie High, I might actually want to use a Demerara syrup, but I would have to go to the back, and I don't think I really want to do that at this point. So we're going to just start with the simple syrup. So this is just plain white sugar and water in a 2-to-1 mix. Once again, I'm following my standard practice of putting the thick, viscous, sugary ingredient in first, and then we'll come and wash that out with our citrus and other ingredients. This is also a lemon-based lemon sour. Lemon is the sour component also for this cocktail. See, that's what I'm trying to say. But here we're going a full ounce of lemon juice. So there's a bunch of lemon juice in here. Right, this better say lemon. Yeah, it says lemon. We're good. Okay, there's the lemon. The Mr. Bali High's sort of key signature ingredients for flavor profile are pineapple and coffee. And so we're going to go ahead and go with the pineapple. It's going to be a little on the sweeter side because we are going to use the Goya pineapple, which is sweetened, as opposed to using what we did last night, which is the Dole pineapple, which is unsweetened, which would be my preference, but we don't have any at the moment. So there's 3/4 and 3/4. Star, can you forward over this portion of the music?
Yeah.
3/4. Part of the problem with having Pandora is you never know what's going to come up, and what we currently have is a bit of a comedy routine with members of the Rat Pack, which is all well and good, except that I don't want them talking while I'm talking because I like the stage. Darn it, my stage, right? Okay, the Mr. Valley High pineapple. The next component would be the coffee component, and what we did, because David and Chris turned us on to Mr. Black, is that we used Mr. Black. And we used 3/4 of an ounce of Mr. Black.
Mr. Boneyard. The Dick Tracy.
You know what? This is a teaching moment. Teaching moment. The reason you put your cheap ingredients in your shaker first is because if you mess up something, you can go ahead and toss that away without losing your expensive liquor. This one, the thing I'm thinking of calling the Mollie High, needs lime juice. So this is just going to go away. Simple syrup and lemon, and we're going to rebuild this with simple syrup and lime.
Yeah.
And now I haven't actually... Okay, wait, I do have to clean that jigger out because the Mr. Black will take that over. All right, so 1/2 ounce. There we go. Come on. Come on. 1/2 ounce. Simple syrup. Full ounce lime juice. Other bottle. Freshly squeezed by my wife. Can somebody else confirm for me? I believe that my beloved Dolphins have actually played the Las Vegas Raiders to a tie. But I cannot actually spend the time to glance over. Okay. 1/2 ounce simple, full ounce of sour. In one case we are doing lemon, in the other case we are doing lime. We put the Mr. Black in here, and here's where we go off book with the Mollie High. Instead of using the Mr. Black, which I know is a David and Chris thing.
Scored 3.
Oh, so we lost. Oh, bummer. Hey, it's a close game. All right. What we're going to do...
Is that a straight coffee or a coffee liqueur?
It is a coffee liqueur. Mr. Black is a coffee liqueur. So, what we're going to do on this other one is we are going to split what we would normally do with the Mr. Black or other coffee liqueur. You could use Kahlua or something along those lines. We are going to go with a 1/2 ounce of Nocino, which is a walnut liqueur. And then, because I don't know why, my brain said, I think this might be yummy, we are going to go with 1/4 ounce, make a total of 3/4, right? 1/4 ounce of apricot liqueur. There we go. And that's a pretty fat pour for 1/4 ounce. Now then, the rum ingredients are going to be the same. They both require 1 ounce of a light rum, and here we're going to use the Baku white rum that we were using last week. So full ounce of that, right? Yep, full ounce. Full ounce. There you go. The next ingredient, we're going to go Jamaican, and the recipe calls for a dark Jamaican rum. You could go with an overproof, you could go with something like Smith & Cross and certainly not go wrong here. But what we're going to use is the same thing that we used on the boat, which is Ed Hamilton's Jamaican Pot Still Black, which has got that really hefty Jamaican funk that you want from dark aged Jamaican rum. So ounce and a half, right? Yep, ounce and a half. 3/4. 3/4. I'll do the same on the other side. 3/4. And 3/4. There we go. Okay, now classically these are going to be shaken with crushed ice and then just dumped into either a mug, usually a Mr. Bali High mug, or a double rocks glass, also known as a Mai Tai glass. And so we're going to reach in, we're going to grab a couple of Mai Tai glasses out. Throw a scoop of crushed ice in here, in each one of these. 1 scoop crushed ice in there. Lid that up and shake it. Nope. Goya pineapple.
You want to make sure you added it.
I thought I did. What am I doing? I don't know what that one's supposed to smell like.
Well, is it frothing when you shake it?
It is frothing. The pineapple's in there. Good.
Okay.
Good call. So here, Mr. Bali High. Yep, that's the right color. Last night we had nothing to garnish this with aside from the cocktail orchids, which were downstairs, and we forgot to put them in. So I'm just going to garnish them with some mint because I have some. And it needs to be used. So I'm going to reach over here.
He did the pineapple to the first, but not to the Mollie.
Not to this one.
Right.
See? Wow, okay. Really? So that's bizarre. Are we sure? Okay. All right. I said 3/4 ounce and a half, right? There we go. I don't know, folks. But I don't want to throw it out and try again. Let's not do that. All right. That goes in here. The mint. Spanked mint. That goes in there. Take a straw from Surfside Sips. We're going to go ahead and just dump a cocktail umbrella in there because, well, we can. And there is our Mr. Bali High. Here, we have the Mollie High, which requires crushed ice, equal proportion. Shake that. And then that goes in here. I don't know, folks. I think I might have had. I think I might have gotten the pineapple in there. That seems like it foamed a little more, and we have a higher volume. But maybe I'm wrong. I should trust my studio audience because they're paying attention, and I'm not. I'm just talking, right? Smack the mint around. It goes in there. A straw. We're going to use a green one in order to differentiate. And I need a cocktail umbrella that is not there. So what else are we going to... Okay, we'll do this. I think this is a... Yep, there we go. I'm just going to use a wand and stick that in there because we can. There. Because bizarre lighting effects. So, Mr. Bali High. Yep, that's a Mr. Bali High. There's no mistake in that. And now, the potential new creation. So we'll move this over here because Star will drink that. We sure I didn't get too much pineapple in that? I might have.
Mmm. That is yummy.
The coffee note from the Mr. Black is really pronounced in the Mr. Valley High. The Nocino note is not anywhere near as pronounced in this, but it's there.
Mm-hmm.
And it is a similar note to the coffee.
Yes. But it's not overpowering pineapple.
No. But if you do not like coffee, this would not be the drink for you.
Right.
If you, of course, David and Chris like coffee, so this is probably the right thing to do. What I could do, I'm going to have to, so not happy with this one. I mean, it's perfectly fine. I'll drink this one, even if Star won't. But I don't want to name this the Mollie High until I've played with it more. And I think what I'm going to do, instead of the apricot, which is not coming through at all,
Right,
is split the Mr. Black with the Nocino and give it sort of a chicory coffee element to it instead, because I think that'll work better in this case. I don't think the fruit element of the apricot is really doing anything for it. So we'll go there. All right?
Yep.
So we wanted, okay, I'm going to finish this real quick. Oh, those are totally different drinks. Oh my God. Wow. Oof.
Drink some water.
Drink water? Why would I want to drink white? Yeah, because I'm dehydrated.
David said blame it on him if the pineapple got...
I don't know. It's so... Because the Nocino isn't coming through as much as I want, and the apricot is not coming through at all, and because if I'm going to name this after your boat, I want there to be a coffee note in it. This was going to require work anyway, so even if I blew the pineapple proportion, it still would require work. So we're good. Don't worry about it.
So Amanda says, change my pitch up, smack my mint up.
Ah, Amanda. I was just going to make some comment about Amanda being my prodigy when it comes to making cocktails, and there we would have the pun would be complete.
And that split got a oh yeah from the Admiral on Mollie. So.
The Nocino Mr. Black split?
Yeah.
Maybe depending on time. No, we're not going to have time this evening as I look up and see the clock. Maybe I'll come back to this. Or David and Chris, you can send me a message and say, hey, sometime this week, make one of those Mollie Highs and do the split between the Mr. Black and the Nocino and let us know how it turns out. You realize, of course, if I make a drink using Nocino that works well for your boat and we name it after your boat, you're going to have to find room for a bottle of Nocino on your bar, because you just will. Okay, next drink, last drink. I have no real good reason why I chose this drink for this evening, other than I have to start thinking about what I want to do for Haunted Tiki and my Haunted Tiki party. And this drink's name always catches my eye. It is called the Never Say Die. And so I think that's kind of fine and appropriate cocktail, but what I'm probably going to do is take and do a riff off the Never Say Die and make it into like, would you just please stay dead, or something along those lines, because that would be appropriate, of course, for the Haunted Tiki. But let's start by making the actual Never Say Die cocktail. It does not require a shaker, it requires a blender tin, and I have blender tins here, right? They're behind the TCRL. So what does this require? It requires a ½ ounce of honey mix. So this is just honey and water mixed together. It requires a ½ ounce. ½ ounce. No particular honey. Any domestic honey will work. I mean, I guess any foreign honey would probably work. I think generally when playing with cocktails, especially tiki cocktails that require a honey mix or honey syrup, it doesn't pay to use a subtle flavored honey. You know, the difference between blueberry and clover honey is going to be completely and utterly lost in a cocktail. So generally, I just use regular old clover, wildflower, honey, whatever the domestic mix is. Okay, next ingredient is orange juice. I have a little bit of orange juice here, freshly squeezed orange juice, again, by my wife. And we're gonna go 1/2 ounce. Next ingredient, lime. 1/2 ounce of lime juice. Reach down here, double check. Yep.
Amanda thought it was a James Bond reference or a Goonies reference.
1/2 ounce. Never say die.
Yeah.
As the Bond reference would be never say never, right? And of course, we have Bond music playing, which probably would cue that in everyone's brain. Requires a 1/2 ounce of grapefruit juice. So we'll go with 1/2 ounce of white grapefruit juice. Half ounce white grapefruit juice. And then a full ounce of Barbados rum. And you can use any Barbados rum. I would not use your really overly expensive Foursquare. You know, don't use your Redoubtable on this one. I am going to go with a higher quality Barbados rum than what many would just put in a cocktail. The RL Seal, the Dorley's XO, either of those would be fine.
And the RL Seal is now available at Virginia ABC.
That's true. That's true. So if you want access to a good quality Foursquare rum, and you don't want to spend the money on the Foursquare Exceptional Cask Series, the RL Seal rum, also produced by Foursquare, very distinctive bottle, is now available from Virginia ABC stores. The XO, the Real McCoy, the RL Seal, any of those would work fine in here. I'm going to step it up a little bit. I really like the 12-year-old Dorleys in cocktails, so we're going to do that. Full ounce. And the price point for the Dorleys and the Real McCoy and the RL Seal is really very, very reasonable, as opposed to anything that has a direct Foursquare label on it, which will sometimes be a little more than what the average individual might want to spend. Okay, so there you go. Full ounce Barbados rum. We want high quality Dorley 12. Next up is 1/2 ounce of light rum. We're just going to reach for the Baku. Why? Because, well, I've got a pour spout on it. 1/2 ounce.
Because I love it.
Star does, in fact, love the Baku. Pretty much all of the Baku. The entirety of the Baku line she likes. Right? Honey, orange, lime, grapefruit, the Barbados rum, the light rum. Oh, I skipped an ingredient. Duh. It calls for a 1/4 ounce of pineapple juice.
You're having trouble with pineapple juice.
I am having trouble with pineapple juice. Here it's excusable because I'm not going to use pineapple juice in this. I am going to use the pineapple rum from Lion that we got from David and Chris. And it's just a 1/4 ounce. So there we go. Doink. And this is 57% alcohol. So this is going to heat up this cocktail quite a bit because we're going from juice to alcohol. And then the last of the rum ingredients is a 1/2 ounce of dark Jamaican. We're going to reach over and do the same thing we did previously. We're going to go 1/2 ounce of the Hamilton Pot Still Black. There we go. Honey, orange, lime, grapefruit, pineapple rum, Barbados rum, light rum, dark rum, and a dash of bitters here. And the
Why? Because you gotta.
Because you gotta. And the bitters we are going to use this evening are the Havana and Hyde bitters from 1821, because I want a bit of that leathery essence of in the Never Say Die. I'm gonna go full dash. Whoop. There you go. Now then, 4 ounces crushed ice for this. I have one of those lying around somewhere. There it is. I'm gonna dump that out. So 4 ounces crushed ice. Okay. We'll actually measure this out instead of just using a scoop. So there's 2. 4, and this gets flash blended. 2, 3, 4, 5. We're done. And this is traditionally served in a goblet, so drinking goblet. Ta-da! And straight in. Look at that. Even without actual pineapple juice in this, we get a ton of foam. Ta-da! This is the Never Say Die. Now I'm going to add a couple of little ingredients to this. We picked up some lime leaves from the Asian market, and I just shredded the lime leaves a little bit, and we're going to put some over the top, and that's just going to give it an interesting sort of lime leafy smell to it. And then the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to garnish. And David and Chris gave us some garnishes before we left. They gave us some dried candied kiwi that they were not all that interested in finishing. So what I have done is I've taken these dried candied kiwis and I have soaked them in just a little bit, a wee bit. Where is a knife? There's a knife. A wee bit of something we use around here quite a bit, which is lemon extract. And for those of you
We
that
know what lemon extract
play the home
means.
game, you know what that means. So we're going to take this, and if we've done this correctly, we should at least get some short-lived flame coming off of this thing right here. Right? I'm actually going to turn this off. There we go. Right? And apply flame to this, and we'll see if this works. I don't know. We'll see.
Mm-hmm.
You know, before I do that, I really want to add some more crushed ice to that. The water line is just bothering me, right? So just there we go. I get it to light. There we go. There's light. There's heat off of that. Goes out pretty rapidly. But, you know, if you're doing drinks at a party, that's not necessarily a bad thing, right?
Right.
Could be that I only got one side of this, too, soaked.
No,
Nope. Oh, well.
that was it.
I mean, it's okay, I guess. We're going to go stick a straw in there from Surfside Zips. Because you can really smell the charred sugar and kiwi off of that.
Yeah.
So that's actually nice. I'm going to sprinkle a little more of this on there since I covered the other one with crushed ice. Then we're going to stick that in front of you and let you taste that. Because I'm going to go over here and drink this.
The nose is all burnt sugar.
So maybe we have garnish failure. Do we have garnish failure?
Yeah.
Okay, so we're going to... Ow, 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 ow. No, just kidding. I will say the dried candied kiwi didn't impress me. The dried candied kiwi soaked in lemon extract and turned on fire, that has a pleasant flavor to it.
That's good. It is not remarkable.
It's not Mr. Valley High remarkable?
No.
Okay.
Or AquaPearl.
Okay, so we got 2 out of 3 that were big hits.
Yeah.
I gotta say, I think I agree with you.
It's okay, but you've made much better things and it's not remarkable. So
Yeah, and this is one of those where all the ingredients are there for a good cocktail, but it just kind of misses.
yeah, they don't make something better when added together.
There's some flavor there that I'm not...
Is it the grapefruit?
Might be. Yeah, I'm not. Now, it could be that because I've substituted the pineapple rum instead of the pineapple juice, that it is not actually sweet enough.
Oh, that
And
could
there's
be.
this hollow piece where there should be a little sweetness and mouthfeel and thickness to it that just isn't there. So, if I could just add a little bit of pineapple juice, stir this, see if that helps, right?
You should put up our Halloween pineapple in case people aren't parsing it.
I think that might be better. I think maybe having to go. So, Never Say Die may actually be a better cocktail than what I just made because, well, I think adding a little bit of the actual pineapple juice makes that a more rounded cocktail. That said, that is not nearly as good as the Bali High or the thing I'm trying to make with the Mollie High. Those are both much better cocktails than that.
That is better with the pineapple juice.
Yep. All right.
So that
This.
looks weird on screen, so I think you should pick it up and
It
show it.
looks weird on screen. It's
Yeah,
supposed to
you
look weird
can't-
on screen.
you
These are
can't
skulls.
You can't necessarily tell the frond is.
This is a pineapple. This is designed to be a pineapple, right? So here's your dead pineapple fronds. It's got little red lights in it. Can you see the
We
little
got
red?
that from Nancy and Vince.
We did get this from
who
Nancy and
were
Vince.
on a prior week.
Vince. And you can see the red lights in some of the eyes on the skull. Yep. And so we are rapidly approaching haunted tikiness, and therefore we're breaking out things like the haunted skulls here. Some of the eyes actually blink. Oh, and I think this is a Target find. I think you can get these guys at Target or various other party-ish places. So there you go. You can certainly do that. What else should we do? I think we're good. We are rapidly approaching the 1 hour mark. We do have some cleanup that we need to do, and it's been a really relaxing but long weekend and oddly tiring. Star and I were commenting of like, wow, for basically all we did was sit around and lounge around on a yacht all weekend. We were oddly tired by the time we got home. I think we both took naps once we got home. So I think we're going to just go ahead and call it quits here, and we're going to come in a little under time.
David said he did not find the lion pineapple all that pineapple-y. And we found it more pineapple oleosaccharum than pineapple juice.
No, I would characterize that slightly differently.
Okay.
So if you are comparing, say, the pineapple flavored rum from Lion with, say, the Plantation Stiggins pineapple rum, the Plantation Stiggins is much more about sort of an oleosaccharum, the kind of the oleosaccharum that I make using the rinds of the pineapple. This comes forward to me much more as the meat and flesh of the pineapple. So I'm a little surprised, Dave, when you said you don't get quite as much, you don't get a lot of pineapple flavor from this, because I get a lot of the pineapple meat flavor as opposed to the much more subtle.
But didn't we also discover that David focuses on the back end tastes?
Well, that's true. David tends to focus on the back end, the finish of and this I think does have a pretty short finish to it, whereas anything that you use the oleosaccharum for, I think, has a slightly longer finish. If you really want to amp up the pineapple, though, use a pineapple oleosaccharum and use, use a combination of the Plantation, the Lion, and a pineapple oleosaccharum, and you're going to have a fantastically pineapple-forward drink. In fact, we could have done, say, like a pina colada, very, very pineapple-y forward, and use all three of those ingredients in it. And that would have been a tremendously yummy just boat drink. Forget the tiki balancing. It's just a sweet, pineapple-y good drink. That'd be your pina colada.
Do you want to touch about boat drinks versus tiki drinks?
So Star is asking if I want to touch on the difference between sort of a boat drink, a beach drink, and tiki drinks. So look, I don't want to get like all gatekeeperish about, oh, that's not tiki, or this is tiki, that's not tiki. But usually, when we are talking about what qualifies as a tiki drink, um, we are talking drinks that owe their origin in some way to the beginnings of that tiki movement, that tropical movement in the 1930s, 1940s in the United States, usually characterized by a mixture of rums, these quote unquote rum rhapsodies, and having their origins in Caribbean style drinks. So, oddly enough, the daiquiri is not generally considered a tiki drink, even though the daiquiri is sort of the grandfather of all tiki drinks. One of the other watchwords for tiki cocktails is that they tend to emphasize balanced profiles. The sweetness is balanced with the heat of the rum, which is balanced with the whatever sour components you have. The cocktail should be in balance. It shouldn't be too spirit forward. It shouldn't be too citrus forward. It shouldn't be too sweet forward. This is in direct comparison to what you would normally think of as sort of beach drinks or boat drinks, where, frothy, creamy fruit juice, I don't really want to taste the alcohol, although maybe just a little hint of the rum, and can be completely unbalanced. They can be usually completely on the sweet side. The pina colada to me is a well overly sweet cocktail, but my palate is geared toward the tiki cocktail. So a little more balanced, a little less sweet generally, and owing its origins to the Caribbean style drinks that influenced the 1930s and 1940s generation of true tiki cocktails would be the where I see those differences. And again, I'm not going to sit there and say, no, that drink is not a tiki drink. But that's sort of where I have kind of where my dividing lines are. But even then, when I have a tiki menu, I'm likely to have daiquiris on it because daiquiris are a great way to feature rum, and rum is like highly, highly featured in most tiki cocktails. So yeah, I mean, anytime I can show off rum, I will do so. So the tiki or the daiquiri has a prominent place in my heart. Besides that, it is really in some ways the grandfather, like I said, of all tiki drinks because it is about that balance of sweet, sour, and spirit coming together. And yes, there's a hand up, which means there's a comment that I can't scroll through.
How does the Bahama Mama fit in?
I'm if memories, I'm bad here because my brain confuses a couple of cocktails. There is the Bahama Mama the one that has the blackberry liqueur in it?
So
Or is that the rum
Bahama
rum?
Mama, checking real quick here.
Yeah, let's check the ingredients list and I'll talk to you.
Rum, coconut flavored rum, grenadine, orange juice, pineapple juice, crushed ice.
Okay. Sure. Did you say lime in there somewhere? Like, where's the sour or citrus component?
Grenadine syrup?
Grenadine's tart, or should be tart.
Pineapple?
Yeah, see, there you go. It's like, not sure how balanced that is.
There's a clue here. When you Google, I don't know if they can hear me. When you Google Bahama Mama,
You Google
You
Bahama
get-
Mama.
Bacardi Bahama Mama premix.
Okay, so it starts saying that when you Google Bahama Mama, pretty much the first thing that comes up is Bacardi's pre-mix for Bahama Mamas. While I would be perfectly happy with saying that should clue you in that you're probably not drinking a tiki drink, except that I know that there have been various releases of Mai Tai mixes throughout the ages as well. And so this is another problem with trying to do gatekeeping on what is tiki and what is not tiki. You also get these issues of, oh, here's a Mai Tai. wait, why is this Mai Tai pink? There shouldn't be anything pink about a Mai Tai. And somebody going, oh, well, a Mai Tai is just, a couple of rums and some fruit juice. That's not what a Mai Tai is. Mai Tai is a specific recipe, and it is well balanced. You get a lot, I wouldn't say a lot, you do get folks that will just use the name of the cocktail and interpret it as, oh, yay, verily, some rum and some fruit juices. So it's really hard to say. It's like, okay, so this Mai Tai, here is a Mai Tai from the Mai Kai in Florida, in Fort Lauderdale. That's a Mai Tai. That's a tiki drink. Here is a Mai Tai from Applebee's. It's pink and it only costs you $1 during certain months of the summer. Not a tiki drink, but they're both called Mai Tais. So, I don't know.
So does served in a hurricane glass?
Served in a hurricane glass does not differentiate because the hurricane itself is often considered a classic tiki drink. There are also certain components or ingredients that will tip you off that if you are combining this, especially with rum and a citrus, if you are combining passion fruit, orgeat, those kinds of ingredients. Now, this is not to say that any cocktail that has orgeat in it is a tiki drink. That's not true. Any cocktail that has orgeat, some combinations of rum, and those flavors are balanced by citrus, you stand a really good chance of that being accepted into the tiki canon, right? As being the Japanese cocktail, the modern cocktail, both use orgeat. Neither one of those are anything even remotely approaching tiki. But passion fruit or passion fruit juice and passion fruit syrup, they're just not highly used outside of tiki canon. And so if you see that, you're probably thinking, yeah, I might actually be there. I might actually be in that tiki realm. But then again, I mean, tiki is much more about a headspace and escapism and stepping away from the realities of your 9-to-5 day-to-day world and having a nice refreshing beverage that just takes you away. And if that beverage is, made with bourbon, or it's made with rum, or it's made with gin, or it's balanced, or it's unbalanced, or it's a really awful drink, but it's in this incredibly cool mug that takes you away somewhere else, far be it from me to tell you that that's not tiki. I serve tiki drinks in mugs that are Star Wars and Guardians of the Galaxy characters. Tiki purists will tell you, you're wrong, that's not a tiki, that's not tiki. I'm okay with that. What?
Any drink you get at Red Lobster is not going to be a classic tiki drink version of whatever it is they're serving.
Pretty much
I'm going to order it every time. Enjoy it.
Yeah, the Red Lobster Hurricane, it is not a classic hurricane. It is not a classic tiki drink. I'm okay with that, and then we'll occasionally order it. Right.
Again,
look at the ingredients in the cocktail, not the name of the cocktail.
Drink what you like. Know what you're drinking.
Yes.
And that's really an important thing.
Thank you, Richard Seal.
Thank you, Richard Seal.
That's better now. Remember, I added a little bit of pineapple juice to it, and then I let it sit. Remember, I keep forgetting, let cocktails sit before serving. Yeah, that's much better. Yeah.
It is. Okay.
Yep. I think...
So do not substitute Lion pineapple rum for pineapple juice.
Or if you do, also add some pineapple juice to it.
Right.
Yep.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, there is no reason to be ashamed of what you're drinking. I am reminded of your pin from the.
I have a pin right here.
Misbehaving Maiden.
Yeah, this is a pin that was given to me by a group called given.
Bought.
We bought from them.
We bought
a
free
swag.
dozen and gave them away to various.
So I'm not sure you can actually read this pin. It is this one down here, right?
But it's drinks don't have a fucking gender.
And this is the you're ordering a pink squirrel, such a girly drink. It's like, no, I happen to like pink squirrels.
You're ordering a single malt scotch. That's a guy's drink.
Right. I like my single malt neat. Oh, okay. That's a manly drink.
Right.
Like, wow. dude, why? Why would you consider that a manly drink, right?
You know,
Drink what you like.
Drink what you like.
Thank you, David and Chris. We had a lovely, lovely time this weekend, even though it was oddly exhausting for doing pretty much absolutely nothing. We still had a lovely time. We're exhausted. We're going to call this quits. We're going to grab some dinner, and we're going to go to sleep and start our work week.